What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another Monday live stream. Welcome to the show that is not about me, well, a little bit about me, and mostly about you and your question. Feel free to ask everything that you need to ask. Sound-related, console-related, stuff that we can talk about on YouTube here in the chat, and it will be my pleasure to discuss that with you. First, I need to... You guys were really active today, right? I had Dale showing up early today. If I can get my mouse in my prompter, there you go. Dale said this morning, sorry, hold on, not getting there. I don't know why. Chat is fooling with me. There we go. Said, oops, early today. Usually I'm late. Must be the daylight saving time messing me up. It's probably what's messing me up too. I don't know. So I just feel... just had my first coffee of the day. It used to be 12:30 right now, not 1:30 for me. So, and now we're earlier. No, now we're not. I never know. I just seriously never know. But I'm glad that you guys are here at the official 1:30 time, because I don't even remember what is the right time. Is it the summer time or the winter time that is the right time, you know, when the sun is really at its peak at noon? I never remember. It probably doesn't matter, because most of the time I go to bed, and when I wake up the sun is way up, so it doesn't matter. So there you go. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Jonathan. My beautiful members, thank you very much, guys, for signing up as a member on this channel. I really appreciate the fact that you take a little bit of your money and you throw that through the channel. It's doing a big difference for me. It's like my way to justify keep upgrading my stuff and everything. So thank you very much for doing so. If you guys want to know about members, the regular member is just to help the channel. If you want to have a little more out of it, you can just become a super member. Super member get access to 1 hour of free time with me every month. So when you subscribe as a super member, you send me an email, say, hey, I would like to request my 1 hour of free time with you and I on this setup, and we talk about whatever that you need to talk about. Could be the wing, could be your whole setup. I've redesigned some sound system at a distance for some church. Some people had problem, you know, where do I place my boxes? So they show me around with their phone, and I help them out with that. So if you want to have that kind of help, support, whatever, support me by becoming a super member of the channel. Now, back to the chat. We have Patrick here. What's up, Patrick? Thank you very much for showing up earlier on time. I don't know. On time today? Good to have you around. We have Winnie from Buffalo, New York. So we're not that far. I'm in Montreal. We're a couple hours away from each other. So Buffalo, New York. And Dale's got to complain about the fact that the weather of upstate New York is currently now down in North Carolina. So, Winnie, if you can please ask your neighbor to bring that back. Or, Dale, if you want to ask your neighbor to push that back up New York, it will be fun. Robert, always fun to have you around. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate the fact that you take time of your day to be here with us. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. A lot of stuff happening. Sam's got a question. We will get back to this. I want to make sure that I say hi to everybody. Because like Rob said, why are we here and don't we have anything better to do? Apparently we don't. Rob. Thank you very much for encouraging people to leave my channel and do something better. Really appreciate that. Okay, moving on. Seriously. What else? Sam, ask me your question again in the chat. Just copy paste that. Because I want to make sure that I read the chat, and there's a lot of people today joining in. Hello everyone, hello everyone, hello everybody. I'm welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna get back to this. Sam's got a question. I've been looking into settings a master tempo or tap tempo master, if I read that correctly, with an external foot switch. Anybody know if it's possible on the wing? And external foot switch is GPIO world, and GPIO world is really Patrick's world. So he answered probably that. Say with the WTAP external app that can set the tap tempo mainly on many different way. That was an option on global tap tempo for no major issue doing it by the stump. So okay, my understanding is that you need to have an external app to do this. You cannot do it internally on the wing. I think this is a feature that I should request. Even if Patrick is really, really good doing external software, most of the time I like to have my stuff happening internally on a console. I just don't like to carry around a computer. The fact that I have to carry around a quote-unquote big console like the wing every show, I try to minimize what I need to bring with me. My question would be probably for Patrick about this. Can I just put a Raspberry Pi in my dugout somewhere and use that on Linux? Are all your software compatible with a distribution of Linux that I can run on the Pi? That would be a really cool way to interact, to have more stuff happening with the wing, and having also a computer that could fit, in a decent size, and I don't have to bring around a laptop just for that. If I can just stick around a little Raspberry Pi in the bottom of the console, that would be great. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I talk to Patrick, Patrick's got he developed a lot of software that can go along with the wing and the X32 and Reaper. So please go check out his website, x32ram.com, x32ram.com, if you want to see what kind of software he has to offer. But you see a lot of stuff that I'm talking about regularly about his software, like I just learned now about the WTAP, which is basically an application that would run that. So yeah, it will be fun. The Wing Edit will run on Raspberry Pi. Good to know. I probably have to put a Pi in my setup at some point. The only thing is the screen. Right now, I don't have any screen to go with it, so that's my problem. I can probably find a cheap screen that I can just throw in there to go along with the wing. So, okay, good to know that maybe a Raspberry Pi will be our best friend to go with the wing and use Patrick's software, because I think there's a guy from the name of Rob that helping Patrick to convert or to compile software so they can be run on Raspberry Pi and Mac OS. Thank you very much for doing so, Rob. Rolf, if I'm planning to do anything with the Pi, I will document that for sure. I need to get back a little more on the wing. Recently, as you guys probably seen, I've released some vlog more. I've released some other type of video that I will keep doing. I do not want to stop doing other kind of video. I eventually, in the long-term future, I want to move away at some point from the wing. We're talking about a couple years from now, because like everything else, everybody will know it inside out and nobody will watch my video anyway. So I want to branch out eventually. So I start to do a lot of video that are sound related, but not only about the wing. I try to balance what's happening with that. Maybe at some point in the future, depending how things are going with life, because you never know. I'm planning on buying the Midas Air, the HD96 Air. If that's ever get released, we'll see. But yeah, that's the plan. Winnie said, your YouTube lessons on making studio work with the Wing is something good so far. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I know I say that a lot. I plan to do a little more video about the studio side eventually. But there's a lot of people. Well, there are other content creators that keep doing Wing stuff with the studio stuff. So I don't know if I really want to venture in that way. I'm more of a live sound engineer anyway. This is what I do for a living, live sound. This is why I'm over the top busy with work. This is why after this live stream, I have to go to a venue, get some stuff done. It's not time sensitive in the matter of it needs to be done today, but it doesn't need to be done right now. But yeah, I'm really a busy live sound engineer that doing video also. So I want to do some studio stuff, but if I'm keep getting as many shows as I do, I'm not gonna be able to do as all the videos that I really want to do in the upcoming period of time that would be considered short right now, if my English makes any sense today. Sorry, I just tried to read what's going on with the chat here. I'm looking to move the W-type to Linux. Robert did a volunteer at some point on parting with the GUI. GUI is such a pain to port to Windows and Mac, but it's better than creating a non-GUI version. Yes, if you need, also Patrick, if you need help with graphics icon, if I can help you, sometimes I'm on the show, I got my laptop with me, I can create some stuff with Photoshop. If you need to have any graphic image of stuff, I can do my best to help you. Sorry, I just tried to read what Samuel is saying. Have you ever worked with the LNE Aventus, and how does it compare to the Wing? No, I haven't. I'm supposed to go see one in the near future. This Christmas, I was having a dinner with somebody who is in a church that has a lot of really cool gear, like hold on, the Aventus, is it from LNE or is it Digico? Or there is two versions of it? Because I believe he was on Digico, which is not LNE. It's LNE? Okay. Well, he got two of those. So I should definitely go take a trip down there and maybe bring you guys along and see how it compares to the Wing. The only thing I can say for sure, without even trying the console, is the price point. I believe the Wing will be the price point wise, but it's probably, I see the comment here from Josh about the Wave card. It's probably compatible with Waves out of the box. The Wing is not. I have absolutely no idea what's going on with that. I'm not in the loop for the Wave stuff. It's probably on the Wave side, not on the Music Tribe / Behringer / Wing side. For that to happen, it's probably Wing that needs to release their Wave that need to release their stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not aware of the Studio Wing people. Can you direct me? People are doing. I try to think of names of people that are doing studio stuff with the Wing. Ain't Drew Basher talk about it a little bit? I think Drew's got some stuff, but I'm sorry if I don't have the answer right away. I'm just not interested in the studio anymore. I used to be when I was younger, and I wanted to become, a successful studio engineer when I was 15, and that took a quick turn to the live scene where I'm really better at. And it's just it's such a different approach of mixing, and the result that you want to have are so different from one another that I just don't follow studio stuff anymore. I follow Warren Ewart on YouTube. He doesn't have any content about the wing, but he's got some really good ID and interesting stuff that he's talking about. But I'm mostly following Dave Rat for all this crazy sound, live sound interaction. Dave is such, like, one day, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but one day I would like to have Dave on the show and just do an interview and probably nerd out about some stuff that probably won't interest a lot of people, but it would be such a great time for me to do so, having Dave here and just exchanging on some ID, because Dave is so far out on such a different level than anybody else, designing his own sound system, designing, his own sub and everything. Dave is out of this world. So I would like to poke the guy's brain a little bit. So Drew, not really, I understand. Okay, I think Drew Basher will be your option. If not, well, you can always ask me your question about the wing, and I can do my best to explain them to you here on the show. If not, send me an email. Email in the description down below. Dale's got a question here. You say, hey, Guillaume, do you use Smart in your venue setup? No, I don't. I'm trying a lot of stuff right now. I'm rediscovering my analyzed microphone. I own a Beyerdynamic MM1, which is a really cool, super flat, omnidirectional analyzed mic. And I'm doing something that is not in the wing, that is only available in, you guys will laugh, guitar processing software and Logic. I'm talking about matching EQ or impulse response of signal versus capture. Let me explain. Nowadays, I used to tune a small room that has, the worst environment possible. A big room, tall ceiling, concrete's everywhere, glasses everywhere, and I had, small speaker hanging from the roof, like 10 to 12 feet above the ground, and it was not sounding atrociously bad, but definitely the sound reproduction quality of the speaker in the roof were iffy at best, and the acoustics property of the room were really, really bad. So what I did to save a lot of time is I took my measurement microphone, placed it in the center of the room where I was reaching mostly all the speakers, and I blasted the room with pink noise, sending it to the house system and also referencing it into Logic and comparing it with a matching EQ versus my microphone, and I have, the reverse curve of that. Let me give you an example. Let's say that I'm sending out pink noise, but what the microphone is hearing back, and I'm gonna do it with my main EQ here. Let's say that the microphone hearing back from the RTA. Hold on, I'm just gonna slow that down a little bit. Can I slow the RTA down? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Let's just say that I was sending a pink noise and it would look something like this from my reference microphone. So it's not a flat curve like a pink noise would be. So what you would do is in Logic, you would create the exact 100 band reproduction of that, but reverse it so you end up with a flat, the exact opposite EQ correction curve, so you end up with a flat full response. So I tried that. I insert that on my main out of Logic and play back a song, and it was sounding crystal clear. So what I did is, probably getting sick. Oh no. No, I hope I don't get a cold. Basically what you're doing is you analyze the room, take a snapshot of that, the opposite EQ, flip it back in, and you end up with a perfectly flat response of that speaker. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the coffee kicking in, my body's just waking up, I don't know. Sorry about that. Okay, so basically I'm not using Smart because Smart will kind of end up doing the same thing but in real time, and will not create a 100 band EQ or 100 band EQ curve, 100 point EQ curve for you to insert into something. But my idea came from being a guitar player that used to have a Axe-Fx stuff, have impulse response capture software in them. It's just sending out a pink noise through your amp and, you know, some sweep of frequencies. And it's basically writing down the EQ curve of the room. After that, you can compare it, flip it around, and make it flat. This is what I did back in the day, and this is what I would like to do with the Wing. Instead of using, you know, an EQ to do this, I would like to be able to just load an impulse response that I'm just creating on the spot. So what you do is you take, let's say, a monitor. Most of the time I'm EQing monitor. Take a monitor, put it on the stage, put a reference microphone pointing straight to it, setting out pink noise really loud, take a snapshot, take a picture of that, take the reverse EQ of the resultants of basically take what the microphone is hearing, seeing the EQ of the microphone that looks something like this, you know, with cut and boost and stuff like that. Put that into a impulse response loader, flip that around, and you have a perfectly flat full response speaker. It would be my dream plugin to have in the Wing. I know some people asked me that question before. What I would like to see in the Wing would be this. So eventually, maybe it's an option that can be done. And I believe impulse response loader do not create that much latency to work with, because you can use them into guitar processor in real time, and guitar processor cannot really have latency because, you know, you would not be able to play guitar with latency. So maybe, I don't know if the processing is available in the Wing, but it would be a cool maybe effect add-on to have an impulse loader. And maybe not just for EQing PA, it could be an impulse loader for you know, guitar. I like to have as less microphone as possible on a stage. I love DI, so if I can have my drum and take a DI out, fully like unlistenable direct out of a guitar amp, and just load my own impulse response into a rack and use that, it would be really good. Okay, sorry. I derail here totally, and I did not read the chat. So to get back on the Aventus, it's double the price. So okay, that's probably one way to rule the Aventus out versus the Wing. I don't know feature wise, but if it's similar and double the price, well, draw your own conclusion. It's similar and double the price. Pro Tool and the Wing in studio work, it's probably doable. So probably, okay, I think somebody sent you a link. Yes, Patrick did send you a link. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. From Dale, Dave Rat is always interesting. Usually his topics will have no use in my workflow, but he always teach me something that I never heard of or thought of. That's the thing with Dave Rat. He's gonna give you perspective on some stuff that you never think, that he analyze and make you realize, and you go like, yeah, it makes so much sense. This is why I follow Dave Rat, and I've been for years. Now he's more active on YouTube, but I've been following Dave for like 10 years. A really, really good 10 years. And he taught me some stuff, or I took from his videos so much and applied that so much in every situation. I don't know if you guys saw my latest vlog where I'm talking about delay. It's a combination of two things that I'm joined together: a PA Tech friend of mine and Dave's video about reproduction of signal. I just matched those two ideas together, and this is why I end up always delaying my PA from the distance of the band, and having the sound leaving from the stage to the band, and I only amplify a little bit of stuff in the room, and I give like a lot of room for my vocal because it's really important. So it's a mishmash of all those ideas and stuff that I took from Dave. Say, I really like that. I would like to apply that on my day-to-day work, and I'm just doing it. So really cool. If you don't know who Dave Rat is, go check out his YouTube channel, Dave Rat. Simply that. And his production quality is not the best there is. It's more on the Holder YouTube side, where you just want to do a video for somebody. You grab your phone, you grab a whiteboard, and you write on it. It's more that, but if you can overcome that and listen to the guy, he's the best. He's one of the best there is out there for like understanding how sound is traveling through cable, how sound is traveling through the air, how it's reproduced from the electricity side to the air moving part. He's so good at this. Please go check out Dave YouTube channel. You're gonna learn something really interesting for sure. So okay, try to read here. Wing support HUI, but Pro Tool has dropped support for HUI in their latest version, probably to support their EUCon. I don't know what that is. I know Pro Tool dropped support for a lot of stuff lately. I know the old Control 24 that you probably saw in my vlog from LA cannot be used anymore, or you need to have like the older version of Pro Tool to work. Right now it's a dead platform in the sense of it's still a working device, but you cannot use it natively. The software to use it are just not supported anymore. So really bad. Okay, so really good one here from Samuel. In what circumstance is useful to use the maxer on the EQ of a channel? What are we talking about, the maxer? Let's take a look at this. What is the maxer? I'm gonna guess it's in the same Same thing that we usually end up here, which is the channel EQ. Wrong camera. There you go. Right camera. What is the maxer? I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Okay. Low contour, high contour, or high effect. It's remind me of a rack unit that I used to work with. How does it call again? Sound maximizer. Anybody remember the old rack? I don't even remember who made these, but the old rack sound maximizer. I don't remember the brand that was doing those, but apparently it was really good on tom and floor tom. And basically the two control in the bottom here is a low phase shift and a high phase shift, if I remember correctly from the unit back in the day. But they used to be just like phase shift or EQ shift that you would use. But right now I'm using it on my voice, and I don't know if you guys hear anything. I'm hearing something really weird. What do I need to turn it on? Okay, I need to turn it on. Hey. This is flat, and it's just the BBE maximizer. It's been a while. So it's basically a phase shift here that you do with the high and the low, and it's like an EQ. It's like an EQ, but it's not. It's not really. It's shifting the phase and probably amplifying the phase on this, if I remember correctly. But I was never a fan of those unit to begin with. They were really expensive for the little amount that they were giving, I believe. I know some people used to use those on guitar amplifier, like when the rack were popular. You had your preamp, you had your power amp, and in between you were inserting a BBE maximizer, and you were cranking the lows, and it will give you that, metal chug guitar sound. Yeah. Oh, Behringer made one too, Sonic Max. Psychoacoustic processing. Okay. Was never a fan of these unit for some reason. I play around with a few of them, back in the day when you were walking into a venue, you had the effect rack that was there on the wall, and this is what you had to do your show on. It's basically crap. Well, if you want to try it out, I'm not gonna say it's crap, Sam. It's not crap. Just use it. Maybe you'll like it on something. I just don't use it. It's just me. It's like the same way that I don't use choruses, or actually I use chorus. I use chorus a lot on acoustic guitar and other weird stuff on bass. I love chorus on bass. Some people cannot stand that. So it's me. I'm not a fan of the Maxer. Maybe you will be. And that's the beauty. I have a way to mix. You have a way to mix. Everybody makes good mix. Different flavor. I always compare that to spaghetti sauce. My mother make the best spaghetti sauce ever. And your mother make your favorite spaghetti sauce ever. If I go over to dinner at your mother's place, for dinner only, guys, come on. It's gonna be good. It's not gonna be my mother spaghetti sauce, but it's gonna be good. Who are we to decide? Just make sure that you try it. Make sure it's there. Try to use it. See if you like it or not. If you like it, you like it. What else did I miss? Good to run back next week. Everybody have a great week. Thank you, Whitney, for being here. Really appreciate that you take time off your day to join us. Make sure to join in next week. Same bad time, same bad YouTube channel. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, good sir, but basically you said, I need a mixing class with you. Sure, I'm available to do mixed class when I have some free time. I have a couple of opening available next week. If you want to send me an email so we can schedule a time together. I'm asking a new price for 2023 of $30 US an hour. You can send me that over PayPal and we can set up a time together where I give you a private lesson where you have access to this setup. I will see you on the screen. You will see me on the screen like this. And I will have my wing here. And I can show you everything that I'm doing. I can also, if you want, you can send me your show file. And I can have your show file, looked at it, and eventually I can work on it for you, do some stuff. Or I prefer to work on it with you together. We go like together. I check your setup. We change whatever that we need to change. I make you do it, so it's not like I'm not doing a show file for you. I show you how to do your show file, and we can talk about your ID, where you want to go, why you want to go this way instead of this way. I think it's better to go this way. What do you think? Oh, you think you're better going this way? Okay, so let's go out your way and find the perfect or best solution for your setup. So if you want to have a lesson with me, I'm available. I got some sometimes some open spot available in the next weeks. So send me an email. It's down below in the description. It can correct phase flip. Oh, sorry, we're talking about the maximizer here. It can correct phase shift from previous EQ. Really? I would need to check that out. But I believe the way that people, or most of the people that I saw using it, were using it to shift the phase on purpose on low end stuff to make it sound bigger. I believed. It says the restoring phase. Okay. Never heard of anybody using it this way, but maybe, it's sometimes people don't use stuff like they should be used. This is the reason why we have the Pultec EQ, because it was not meant, the first thing that you read when you open up the DJ manual, not the DJ manual, the EQ manual on the Pultec is do not boost and cut the same frequency at the same time. The first thing that somebody did, of course, is boosting out some stuff, cutting out some stuff with the bolt knobs, and it was creating a phase shift, and people start to play around with that. And here we have the legendary Pultec EQ. Where I say, why did I say DJ? Because Pancho said DJ used them a lot to probably amplify their low end, because DJ like to have low end like crazy, or you shift the mids by shifting the low and the high, so you change the mid frequency so you sound more scoop, it sounds bigger. You remember those V EQ that people used to do on cars, stereographic EQ. And funny enough, when I was a kid, a friend of mine, his father, this is probably where everything started for me. A friend of mine, his father had a really huge sound system in the basement. I was 6, so could be wrong, but it was something like those old, GBL 1245. Is it 1245? The big GBL that has, the scoop, the 12 inches with the scoop in the bottom. Basically, discotheque sound. disco PA from the 80s. A friend of mine, father of a friend of mine back in the day used to have that, and he has, I remember it was probably a Behringer EQ with the red LED on the slider. I thought it was looking awesome, but I still have an image of like the V curve that he was doing on that. So this is probably what the DJ are manipulating the sound to resemble, to have that, that big V, no mids at all EQ curve. Yeah, something like that. So, okay, it's been 45 minutes. Guys, what are we talking about today? Again, we have no subject. Smiley face EQ curve. Yeah, I can also do a fish 31 band EQ if you ever want to know. Or actually, let's have fun together and hold on. What do you call a fish 31 band EQ? Back in the day, 31 band EQ used to be stereo. So you would have two dynamic EQ that you could play around with like this, and you were starting to build your stereo fish EQ. So you would end up something like this. And you start to raise them here. Let's do a mad fish. Come on. And you need to turn these down. I didn't do a great job of doing it, but do you see where I'm going with this? And you would do the same thing on the other side of that 31 band. It would create, like those small fish. It would create those small fish like graphic EQ. And of course, there were some people that were sending out another kind of graphic EQ that look a lot like something that I cannot talk about, but let's just say that people used to do this on graphic EQ that were unused in monitor rack. And this is one of the beautiful things that I miss about analog, is doing those stupid joke like we're doing right now. Talk about what you guys want to see in the next few wing updates. Well, I want to have my 31 band graphic EQ, my 100 band impulse response EQ available. That would be great. Something that I would like to see also as a plugin that will probably never happen is the tone gate stuff that I'm using. Like for my bass drum, I gave those tips away a long time ago with the snare and the kick, adding a pink noise to a snare that you send into a reverb. It sounded really really cool. And the oscillator that you use on the bass drum, I would like to have that as a plugin option or a gating option in the gate section. That will probably never happen. Patrick said full programmable control of all knobs and icon. Global tap would be good. Definitely global tap would be good. What else do you guys what else? Anybody here? We're 12 people. There's 10 of you that could still give us some recommendation of what you guys want to see in the wing. Could be anything. Send out your ideas. Maybe somebody from Behringer is watching right now, or somebody will send a video clip of this right now, and they can listen. Because honestly, Behringer listen. A lot of people complain about Behringer, but seriously, everything that you guys ask for that makes sense, they're thinking about it. Doesn't mean that it's gonna be put in the next update, but it's added to the list, and at some point it will make the cut. So think about it. Send your requests. Be vocal about what you want to have in your wing, and it will eventually develop into something that can end up in the console. A user manual? No, Patrick, please. I want to keep my job. Scope remote control for the upcoming show control. Oh, okay. I did not venture much into show control yet. I'm probably gonna do a live stream for my member only this week. So this is where I try to experiment with the console a little more, where less people. It's not really, well, it's public, but you know, it's more private. So yeah, people won't read it, so you have your job. Thank you very much, Patrick. Yeah, no, people don't want to read about a manual. Actually, this is funny, because you guys know that I went to LA, right? In Dorian Wright Studios, or the Dreamweaver Studio. And the real reason I went there is because there was no manual on the wing. The guy bought the console. He's got an engineer there, an old-timer guy that used to work on 24-track tape. And the guy saw the console, goes like, okay, I'll give it a try. I'm gonna, look around the user manual or the quick start guide that there is on the wing. And after like 4 hours of doing nothing, the guy said, draw the towel. Nope, I cannot do anything with this. So guess who's got the call? So the fact that the console do not have a manual gave me a week in LA. I like that. Pancho, the internal card is available. Not from Behringer or... Thank you, Patrick. No, seriously, a manual will be good, because anyway, it would have to be redone at every firmware update, and it would not make any sense, I believe, to keep that up to date, because, every time that you do something, you have to rewrite the whole thing, because chapters that you can write on something will change depending on what you're doing. So, does it void your warranty? If you, I believe, for the Dente card, yes, opening up the console will void your warranty. But I believe if you purchase the card, bring your console to a official installer, something like Sweetwater in the States. I'm gonna guess Thomann. Don't quote me on that, but I'm gonna guess Thomann in Europe. If you bring your console there, I think they can put it in your console and not voiding your warranty. My warranty is done. My console is now more than 3 years old. I can do whatever I want with it at this point. Seriously, this is where I was thinking, having the little LED in the armrest, stuff like that, because right now, if I break it, or if it break, I'm on my own anyway. So, warranty is only voided in some countries. Okay, good to know. Rob. It's 2023. The manual should be electronic and posted on Behringer website. It can be updated every day if necessary, and we don't use hard copies of manual. I totally agreed. It should be a PDF, but the thing is, keeping it up to date is a probably full-time job, because every time that, and also it would delay the firmware update. And there is some stuff in the wing that change a lot. It's not only adding stuff through it, it's menus that change. Graphic in those manual that would need to be upgraded every time. Let's think about the routing menu. Sorry. Go back to 1.1 just for fun. And the routing menu doesn't look like that. I remember for sure that the source and output were reversed. Option here. Okay, let's take a look at this. I didn't realize this before. Remote option. It was not even an option. It was not even existing. Or actually, it's not even existing yet. Because I'm running 1.13 right now. So, remote control. Initialize stuff. Actually, initialize. I don't remember seeing initialize here. Let's do this just for fun. Sure you want to initialize that source? Okay, so it reset the gain, the polarity, and probably all the other stuff here. It used to be stereo input. And, yeah, I don't remember seeing that, that choice for remote control, those gain. So, it's all the stuff like that. You would need to rethink the process of patching the console every firmware update or anytime that you have a change in the firmware update. It will be a full-time job just to keep that going. I believe this is why. Does the wing have a wiki page? I don't know. If no, let's start one. Yeah, a wiki is even harder to maintain than a PDF Word file. Yeah, all the hyperlinks and stuff like that. Yeah. Keeping up with the firmware update for OSC and WAPI is already serious task, and it's mostly only text. So not that much picture. Imagine if you have picture of let's say that in the manual, for seriously, somebody who doesn't know his way around, you would go, okay, you go here in source and you select your preamp, and this is where you can set up your gain, and this is where you can set up your gain remote control. What I just did here 5 firmware ago do not exist in the console. Would need to be updated every time and would need to be reworded every time. And you need to make sure also that everything makes sense further down the line of your manual. So, yeah. Hard to maintain. Not impossible. But I already feel that we're having delays of firmware because a lot of stuff are happening. Do you guys really want to have less firmware update? Because somebody at some point, it would be a full-time job for somebody to go and write that, so that person cannot work on the firmware, cannot work on something else. It would be a pain, seriously. But okay, let's go back just for fun. Here, I didn't know that was there when I did my so criticized video of the firmware. People, I didn't show that. I didn't know it was there. So okay, good. In this source settings, in your preamp, you can initialize the source, which totally makes sense. It reset your gain and your 48 volt and your phase flip, and you can also have a custom control. Okay, good. Man, there's a lot of stuff happening in there. Ivan, so it's getting controlled by stepping in 2.5 step. Yes, this is a physicality of the preamp, the Midas preamp. It's hardware. It's basically, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's basically like turning on those Neve preamp where you have notch, step knobs. When you're doing this, you're basically changing by increment on 2.5 dB every time that you turn the knob. And this is what's happening here. There is no in between because it's physically changing a resistor, I'm going to guess. I never build my preamp, but I'm going to guess it's just changing of a resistor step, arrays of resistor. Okay. So it's an array of resistor that changing the frequency or that changing the gain level, the amount of attenuation from the physical input into the preamp by a step of 2.5 dB. If I understand correctly, it goes up to 45, or plus 45 would be absolutely, if I understand the principle of electronic resistance, it plus 45 would be no attenuation at all, and every time that you step down on those increment or reduction of 2.5 dB, you would add more resistance until the preamp is fine. So after that, you have access, yes, Ivan, to the trim control, but honestly, if you cannot set your gain within 2.5 dB, focus on something else. Personal opinion here. You do you, but if you really want to have something that goes between 2.5 dB of gain, never been a problem for me, personally. But on the X32, I think on the X32 you have exactly the same thing happening here, but same thing happening here, but the in-betweens are digital increment or attenuation. I think that the preamp is always go like when you reach a certain point, let's say between 0 and 2.5. If you go 1.5, it would put the preamp into 2.5 and use the trim to minus it by 1 dB, so you get that 1.5 resultant gain amplification. So yeah, this is the hardware limitation. Okay, well, glad that we discovered some stuff today. We talk about some really interesting. It's been an hour. If you guys don't have anything else that you guys want to talk about for today, oh, sorry, I feel really tired. I don't know if it's the time changing or stuff like that, but I feel like we're slowing down. If you guys have a subject that we want to talk about, we got 15 people in the chat right now. I don't want to lose that, and I don't want to make the stream boring or not more than it already is. So on that note, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, I'm lifting the flag here. Usually when I say I'm about to check out, you guys just throw a question at me like crazy. If you guys have any subject you want to talk about, write it right now in the chat. Otherwise, I would do a final plug for myself and Patrick. Patrick has been my moderator for the last couple of weeks. Thank you very much, Patrick, for spending some time with us. Please, people, go visit his website, x32ram.com, x32ram.com. He's got a lot of really cool software that work along with the Wing, the X32 Reaper, and other software. Please go check that out. My pleasure, Patrick. On that note, it's been an hour. I would say thank you very much for being with me again on another Monday. I really appreciate the fact. Okay, Sam, I'm used to it. Sorry, he just got his DN9630 in the mail. So I guess Amazon made a happy customer today. Guys, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be with you. I'm gonna see you next week. Maybe we'll have a firmware update. Because honestly, I'm waiting to do a big. I'm waiting to do a big reveal again of the official new firmware. But it's been delayed. At this point, I don't know what's going to happen with that, so I don't expect it every week like I was in the previous week. So, see you next week with maybe... I don't have the release date, Sam. I wish. I already leaked the firmware. Who knows? So... on that note, thank you very much for being here with me. Setting up for the third time now. Always a pleasure to have you guys around. I'm gonna go work. Take care of yourself. See you guys. next week.